On two party people in the place to be. As you can see, I'll be the last EMP. And sitting right directly across from me.
Be righteous. Don't be so uptight, or I might just slap the taste out your mouth. I'm sounding like Pete Rock now, and that's not a compliment. But
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, party people, divine entities throughout the boundless universe. Welcome to another action-packed edition. The official last word under the umbrella of Big Bad Radio. As previously stated, I am the last emperor, accompanied as always by the great God Be Righteous, Cypher Master on the boards, making everything all crispy and clean with no caffeine. And we even have Madam X in the studio audience tonight. We're broadcasting live from the city of Philadelphia, just north of Chinatown. I guess perhaps this is still somewhat a part of Chinatown.
Chinatown North. Right?
Chinatown North in the building. You know what I mean? A lot of activity going on. A lot of Verizon trucks on 11th Street. Cold weather's coming.
It's here.
Yeah, it's here.
It's supposed to be a nasty. Where they come up with that term, wintry mixture?
Yeah, we're waiting for the wintry mix to arrive in the city of Philadelphia. As always, there's a lot going on here in the city, here in the nation, throughout the world. Since we last intervened, there's been, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of mass shootings that have taken place. Unfortunately, those uncivilized amongst us who do not know how to voice their opinions and their displeasure with whatever group they think seems to be offending them have not done so in a civilized fashion and instead have resorted to senseless violence against the innocent. It's another great Wednesday here. In political news, it seems that President Trump is continuing his foray into labeling the influx of immigrants from south of the border, i.e., as crooks, criminals, and the worst of the worst, as it would seem. It's funny. My old dad happened to be in town for a couple of days. We had a nice long conversation about, along with some other family members, about immigration and migrant of peoples and things of that nature. And it's just it's very interesting to see the position of the offspring of the colonizers from Europe who came here and subjugated the Native American or the First Nations people, as they in many instances like to call themselves. Mm-hmm. Some people have terms like the 5 civilized tribes. We're talking obviously of everyone from the Cherokee to the Lenape to the Shoshone to the Arawak to the Carib to the Zuni, the Zumi, the Apache, the Chiricahua, the Aztec, the Inca, the Mayan. I mean, just, original people, those 2 million Indians, mm-hmm. Who our lessons say, combined with the 17 million, making it 19 million original people as far as the population here in the wilderness of North America, subjugated by the ongoing efforts centuries ago of the European colonizers. And now those same colonizers are saying that these people have no right to be here. When many of them fed and clothed those colonizers when they got here, ensured that they survived the harsh winters, only to in return be given blankets with smallpox and introduction to venereal disease and the common cold, things that the original people on this portion of the planet were not accustomed to. So we really need to really rethink our approach to, first of all, having a discussion about those so-called Indians. Salud.
Gracias.
And definitely as we approach the so-called holiday season, obviously Thanksgiving, we want to be mindful of those indigenous peoples who, for all intent and purpose, made it possible for us to be here. If that whole European situation did not work and they didn't survive, many of us would not have even been through our ancestors, that is, through the transatlantic slave trade. It's very interesting to see what America would have looked like had those incidents not happened. Mm-hmm. So again, man, this place used to be plentiful. Here in these regions, we had what was known as the Delaware. Mm-hmm. That indigenous group of people, and now you don't see any of them. You got to go to a reservation somewhere, way out somewhere, to even really come in contact with what is called the First Nations people. So that in itself is a travesty of humanity and of the human family. So again, as we approach the holiday season, Thanksgiving, take time out to educate your children, educate your family about the indigenous peoples of this lands. Again, the Apache, the Chiricahua, the Shoshone, the Lenape, the Yamasee,
the Navajo,
exactly. Yeah, man, just have a discussion at least.
Blackfoot.
Exactly. Have a discussion. So that's been going on in terms of immigration. This is just real pushback of, the federal government saying that, they have no right to be here and they need to go back. And again, we gotta remember the redistricting of America. Prior to the redistricting of these United States, much of what we call the Southwest and the West was actually a part of the so-called Mexican Empire. We're talking about California. We're talking about portions of Arizona, Nevada. I mean, just listen to the names. New Mexico, Nevada,
Idaho.
Idaho, Nebraska. Then it goes on and it goes on and on. It goes on and on. But yeah, man, that's what's going on. And again, as we speak, laws are being passed to push these people back into their lands. Many of them are, fleeing so-called economic persecution. I know there's a lot going on with the gangs down there. Mara Salvatrucha 13 or MS-13 is supposed to be like the most rambunctious gang, in America now, according to some statistics.
Like that, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, it goes down. It goes down. Yeah. So that's what's going on. We spoke briefly about the elections last week. Many people are still reeling from the fact that the Democratic players in the game seem to have gotten a stronger foothold in their endeavors. Some people say it doesn't matter. Democratic, Republican, left wing, right wing, Autobot, Decepticon, G.I. Joe, Cobra, doesn't matter. It's just all labeling, and that America will have whatever agenda it's already scripted to have in many regard. Yeah, man. So that's what's going on. anything come across your radar as of late? Be Righteous. I know you tend to travel a lot and go to luxurious locales. You know, has there been any traveling as of late?
Yeah. You know, I was out in Loverlaw past day, hung out with the guard.
Okay, see this guy, you know, he just goes to LA and you know, like it's nothing. Oh, I was in Loverlaw. Yeah, you know, like it's nothing.
I mean, you know, it's the guard's born day. I was out there on business, but I hung out with the young guard OC.
Right.
And you know, we was hanging out, wasting time because this nigga had me walk around Beverly Hills. I'm like, you walk me in a circle. I could have walked here by myself and got here quicker. So
so you were in Beverly Hills. What was this? 2 days ago?
No,
yesterday. Oh, yesterday.
Yeah, walk around.
How's the weather? I know it kind of sucked.
Well, you've been out LA, and I don't know if you ever paid attention.
Yeah.
But like, all right, so you look and the weather tomorrow. Actually, the weather today was like upper 70s. Right. But it's only there for about 2-3 hours. Now, yesterday it got up to like 75. When I actually got there, it was 73.
Right.
At like 10 in the morning. But it was a chilly 73.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then it warmed up and it actually got a tad bit humid around like 3-4 o'clock. And then it came tumbling down. You know, it got mad chilly real quick.
Okay.
And but no, we was out there just, hanging out. And he poured out some of his some of his private stock.
Okay.
And my mouth started watering. Pause. You know what I mean? That shit was so strong. I'm like, God damn, nigga, he ain't even twisted up yet.
Sticky, icky.
Yo, listen, I'm trying to tell you, this nigga needed awesome to get that shit off his fingers.
Man.
That's how sticky this shit was. And it was like, yo, I was, I knew I wouldn't get high from it, so I was like, don't even bother to pass it to me. But this shit was like, you coughing when he opened the bag up and shit.
Man,
and he's a free roller. He don't use no grinder, nothing.
Oh, wow.
And he record time twist the thing up. It was blowing. I was like, you still get high from this stuff? So, he was like, yeah, that's all. We was just chilling. I mean, it wasn't like a whole bunch of darkness in the sky and soot flying all over the place.
Right.
From
the fires and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
And condolences to the people, that lost their lives in the senseless shooting last week. Last week. Was that last? Yeah, that was last week. And then, the fires and all of that type stuff. So, I mean, it's crazy, but it's life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I caught sound that one of the dudes that got murdered in Thousand Oaks survived the Vegas shooting.
Yeah.
Like, that's
crazy.
Hey, listen, you know what he got, right?
What?
Same thing that Des Bryant got.
Bad
luck. That's what he got. Bad luck.
Bad luck.
I'm like, damn, like that was Final Destination.
Seriously.
That's going to have to be a part 4.
Seriously.
Or whatever, that franchise is up to. I mean, and not to make comedy out of it, but, it's just like, damn, like, that's crazy, man. Then I sat next to some dude on the plane, smelled like he had 2 onion hoggies and a headlock. Me, I ain't got no filter. I ain't sugarcoat nothing. No, I'm like, damn, nigga, like, yo, don't move. And he had a baby with him. The baby was the best baby ever on the plane.
Okay.
But the baby kept kicking me.
Okay.
And baby's only 15 months. And I'm like, he's a short dude. Baby just as tall as him. And baby was real good, but the baby kept kicking me, and the baby was like real comfortable putting her hands on me, arms all on me. And I'm like, yo, like, so after about 4 hours, I'm like, yo, why don't you turn the baby the other way to show the other passengers some love?
Right.
And I'm all on top of him, like I turn around my friend, turn the baby that way and show the other passengers some love. He did it immediately. So, the baby's all kicking this white woman sitting on the other side. I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give me all the love. Like,
right.
Then we, OC's a vegan. So we in this vegan, big up the vegan glory. So we're in a vegan restaurant.
Okay.
And I'm hungry, so I'm ordering up everything.
Right.
And then this big, tall, goofy motherfucker walks in. OCC had to be like 7 feet tall. He like, yo, big man, what's good on the menu? And I'm like, you talking to me, nigga? He was like, I said, you gonna ask the fattest motherfucker in here what's good on the menu? All these skinny motherfuckers that they eating. This nigga over here stabbing his plate like he can't see. I'm like, yo, if you don't get the fuck away from me. OC almost fell out of his chair. And the server, she was cracking up. I'm like, this dude is tripping. Like, he probably liked your shirt and he didn't know what to say. I'm like,
right.
Oh, shit, like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, but like, he shouldn't have came at me this way. I wasn't even looking like a sausage or nothing. You know what I'm saying? This like, it was funny though, man. But I mean, just chilling. I mean, like, enjoy my time out there as always.
Yes, sir.
And and was just got back here and was thinking about what we was going to build on. And then I was on the phone with the guard, True Justice.
Peace to the God, True Justice.
Indeed so. And I was like, who's your favorite duo all time? And then he starts spitting off names, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's when I was like, yo, this might be the topic.
Right.
So, it's when I hit you up.
Yeah, that was great, God. That was right. That was right on time. Yeah, I was, when I got the text, I was just sitting there. I was talking to Madam X, and she had asked me what tonight's topic was going to be.
Okay.
So I kind of sort of finagled something, and just as I was about to text you with that, your transmission came through, which was supreme as always. Exactly.
You ain't put nobody's, personal information in the wrong door.
No,
like
sir.
You were talking about Madam X. He's like, was that 234? Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck it. Right.
Oh, man.
No, man, but it's a great topic. The duos within hip hop, man. Like, it's any group, any recording artist who manages to share that spotlight with another person or other people knows that there's a lot that comes along with that, whether it's the listener's perception of who delivers the best, especially when we're talking about hip hop, because it's very how shall I say, it can be combative, it can be very competitive. People are always looking for who has the better verse, who has the better delivery, who has the better storytelling ability, the whole gamut. You know what I mean? And clearly that's been on display and speculated within hip hop groups. Arguably the most noted hip hop duo, I would say, is Run DMC. In terms of popularity,
right?
In terms of allowing the culture to expand outside of, they always had that thing. We took the beat from the street and put it on TV.
We started in the
alley.
Now we chilling.
Cali.
And I won't trade my Adidas for no
beat
bullshit.
Up Bally's.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bally's is fire though.
Yes, sir. They were.
Money. They still cost money.
Really?
Nigga. I'm trying to tell you, God, you walk in the Bally shop, it ain't but so many in the world.
I think I might end up grabbing a pair of Bally's.
Bally's always.
Where's the nearest Bally shop? I would have to go where to AC.
No, I don't even think they got one in AC anymore. It's probably
Manhattan.
It's probably only 2 here in the country. If 2, I know it's definitely one on Madison.
Okay,
everything is on Madison.
Right,
starting at like 50th all the way up to like. I rode up Madison the last time I went to the Parliament, and it was like I'm accustomed to stuff stopping around like 60th.
Okay.
Shit was still stores at 75th and 80th. I'm like, damn.
Right.
Everything's on Madison. So
I might have to check that out. I plan on visiting now this Sunday.
And of course their flagship stores in Zurich.
Right.
Because it's a Swiss brand.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, and they still cost big money. I've never owned a pair of Bally's.
Me either. I used to just see him on Kane's feet and be like, yo, he rocking them joints.
Yeah. I mean, the freshest pair of Bally's I seen on anybody, and I still remember this to this day. It was chocolate brown. I'm pretty sure they was cap toe, and they had like a whole different shield on the back. And it's big up to Pete Nice from third base.
Okay, yeah, Pete. I can't front. Pete Nice dress game used to be
the shit
on
was
point.
On point. Yeah, the cable cords
right,
on. You know, not the cords. You know what I'm saying? You know, he had the cable cords on with them Bally's.
Right.
And a crazy sweater. I'm like, damn, this shit is his Bally's. Them things are vicious. So yeah, he ain't had a typical joints. His joints, like the joints that Kane and them used to wear, wasn't big money. They might have been 150, 200.
Right.
Them joints he had on was like 6 and some change.
Right.
They still 6 and some
He probably was copping them whenever they went on tour over there. He probably was headed straight for the shop and grabbing them joints over there.
No, he probably got them off of Madison too. You know what I'm saying? Because that was that a lot of people don't even remember here in Philly. First largest mall on the East Coast, Ben Franklin Mills.
That's right.
Had a Bally shop in there.
Did they?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
See?
Wow.
And they had leathers and everything. That was the first high-end joint in there. Because I only think Off Saks was in there yet. Bally's was one of the first original stores in Franklin Mills.
Wow.
Now called Philly Mills.
That's right.
Philly Meek Mills, to be exact. You know what I mean? They ain't got shit there no more, man. But I mean, yeah, that was one of the first stores.
Dope. You learn something new every day.
Well, you know, I mean, when I was heavy into fashion, it was like, you know, I mean, I could tell you where everything was, you know.
Right.
Even the stuff I couldn't afford.
Right.
Know? I mean, I was a window shopper at times. You know,
use a window shopper.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to think, how can I get that? Oh, I know how. Her. Let me go talk to her. I mean, need somebody bigger than her. Let's go talk. Pause. Let's go talk to Dave. Dave was dressing everybody.
Okay.
How, you know, I mean, Japanese business owners, black business owners, white business owners, JBM. He dressed everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
And you know, yeah, they've had niggas on Versace here in Philly before, you know, cats even knew about it.
Okay.
You know, he got the shirts $650, $1,300.
Okay. Wow.
Bags full. He was that kind of player. Big up to Dave. You know what I mean? Dave, like so he was on point. So it was just like, you know, that when the money wasn't big, you know, all praise due to the boosters, you know.
That's right.
Because you could live a little bit, you know what I mean? You be out there, especially because it's a slow, it's a weeknight and you out by the bar.
Right.
Booster come through and he got that shirt. 300, but oh nigga, just give me 100. Wow, get that joint. Can I only got 75. All right, give it to me now. I'm trying to tell you, you up your whole game, change your life.
Yes, sir.
Change your life, man.
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, so you know, when you talking about duos, I mean, there's no shortage.
Right.
There's no shortage, and it's funny because I was checking out something in the rabbit hole, aka YouTube today, and it was
the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you know, you get stuck in YouTube.
Right, you start off looking at one thing.
They got all types of shit. You like, I want to press on this one. I might lose this one. It's like, you know, like, let me write this one down. Shit, you know, but it's like I was checking out the interview with EPMD, and it was like they said something that was key. And by the way, that's my favorite in my book. They the #1 duo all time
for sure.
Nobody ever did anything like they did before, and until this day, because they was, you know, even like when they formulated the Hit Squad,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like their legacy just goes on and on and on.
Yes, sir.
And they show love to cats on the road, like they were saying how they, you know, it was, you know, that's how a lot of people got exposed to Craig Mack.
Right.
Initially was them, but they don't take any credit for his success. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, they were saying like how when you go back and you look at the foundation, everybody was different. It was all, it was frowned upon back in the golden era for you to sound like somebody else.
That's right.
Everybody had their own sound. And when you look today, most of these cats sound alike.
Right.
And it's sad. That's what huh?
So they look like
They dress like women.
Yeah.
So they think that's the key to success. Mumbling and dressing like women.
Right.
And wearing handbags.
Did you hear Jaden Smith came out and said that his boyfriend is Tyler the Creator?
Whoa.
Did y'all hear about that?
Are you saying that?
Yes, he was at a concert and says, "Look, I want to come out. My boyfriend is Tyler the Creator."
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I wonder how Tyler the Creator felt about that. Like, well, I ain't going front. Hey, look, he gay. If he gay, big up to him. I respect his privacy.
Right.
He still got that fire ass track that came out this year. Woo! I'm just icon shit is still crazy. I mean, maybe he was getting his back blown out when he's like, whoa! I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck with him anyway. You know what I mean? That's just, my expression of love. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. But damn, why'd you have to come out at a concert? Was it that much pressure?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's something we'll definitely have to get into at another show.
Was he one of these handbag niggas?
Remember, he was the actual model for, I'm trying to think what clothing. It was a female's clothing line for a minute. He was at the forefront of that. I'll have to punch that up in a minute. But around this time, maybe 2 years ago, there was a big backlash about that. Like, how do you have this young male as the main model for a female clothing line in all of the print ads this year? Like, it was a whole big thing. I got to punch it up in a second.
You know what, though? You know how I feel about that? Good for him.
Okay.
Because, and no disrespect to women, but some women have fucked this world up with this crossing lines. Like, you ain't had no niggas trying to go to Girls High in Philly. But, we had one public all-boys high school till the mid-'80s.
Right.
And then the women wanted to start going there.
We did that to the Boy Scouts.
Right. And
that's
the Boy
crazy.
Scouts.
That
Now get this. Here's the caveat to that. The Girl Scouts want to sue the Boy Scouts now.
Really?
Right. It just never ends with these women.
That's ridiculous.
It never ends. I'm like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? First, y'all was, bullying us to let the women in. That's why it's called the Boy Scouts.
Right. Clearly.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Now,
really?
So I kind of like, not that I advocate, or I'm against the rainbow people, but like kind of big up to these niggas that be going in the women's bathroom saying like, I'm a woman and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because it's like, yo, how much we gonna take?
Right.
Like we can't. Men are real simple people. Most men are real simple individuals.
Right.
Like if a man and a woman is married, men will get a whole checkup. You know what I'm saying? Manage the household, baby. I'm gonna just pull off something for my indulgences.
Right.
Men only got one room in the house. And it's like that, it's like that because men are simple people.
Right.
But then it's like, yo, you like remember the skit Richard Pryor said with his wife that he was divorced and turned into a 12-year-old little girl instead. It was like, I want his dreams too. It's like,
I want his dreams too.
Right.
Damn. Right.
I'm like, this is crazy. Like that was crazy when I heard the Girl Scouts are suing the Boy Scouts for letting girls in. Why didn't y'all step up before?
Right.
That's
bizarre.
Man.
That's bizarre. Definitely material for a future show in terms of its relation to music.
That's sick. Well, you say like this dude came out at a show.
Yeah.
I wonder if Tyler was feeling like what prompted that. Like, I don't even care. I mean, I really don't want to know. I mean, it's like
it was just a little sidebar, something that came across my feed the other day. And at some point we'll address that as well. Perhaps a show on the children of recording artists and what they're doing with themselves, and are they carrying that legacy? But yeah, man, tonight's show all about the duos. I think it's time we probably get into a sound set with some of the names we just mentioned. maybe a little EPMD, a little Run
Oh,
DMC.
we would be remiss. They're gonna be a part of that sound set,
Yes, sir.
and we discussed this off air pre-show.
Yes, sir.
We do that sometimes here. We talked about what would be known as hip hop's first rap duo, and we agreed it would be Double Trouble.
Yes, sir.
Little Robbie C and Keith Keith.
That's right.
Debuted in Wild Style.
That's right.
And Little Robbie C, I don't know if he was married, but I know he got a baby by Angie B from Sequence. Funk You Right On Up.
Right. Many of you may know her as Angie Stone.
Right.
Right.
D'Angelo's former love. She was a cougar.
That's right.
Hip hop's first cougar.
I know that's right.
I guess hip hop's second cougar was Pepper.
There you go.
Right? I wonder how many cougars hip hop really got. God damn. That's crazy. So, I mean, is that what a cougar does? Yeah.
Right.
That crazy noise. I can't even do that. Can probably hurt your throat. You be coughing and shit. But one thing, everybody for tuning in. You're listening to the official Last Word with the Last Emperor right here on Big Bad Radio. We're gonna get in this first set. Double Trouble coming right at you. Oh. That's Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah. Party people in the place to be. We're back once again. We just listened to a very, very powerful song set. We had Rock Box from Run DMC, Daryl and Joe.
Mm-hmm. Middle name is Ward.
You know what I mean? We listened to Double Trouble, man. Classic.
8 minutes of straight bars.
Glad that God brought that up, man, because that's hip hop history right there, man. Wild Style.
And I stand
that movie.
corrected because I was calling Keith. That's somebody else. He's KK Rock.
KK Rock, right. KK
Rock.
Well, that's right.
Who's Keith? They call me Keith. That's from the Furious 5. That's from, I forget who that was.
Okay.
Was that Cowboy? Didn't he say that? They call me Keith.
Right, the Young Ladies Relief. Yeah. Right, that's right.
Yep. So forgive me, KK Rock. Well, you know, he was almost like he had bars better than this nigga, but he was almost like Ja Lil. He would go off beat a lot, and he wasn't as synchronized with, you know. It's weird because I don't know if it's because of the live performance, and he couldn't really hear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when they did the acapella, you know what I'm saying? His little story, you know, like they was, you know, it was like seamless.
Right.
But still, either way, one of my favorite duos and the first duo that we know of in hip hop.
Yes, for sure.
You know, you know, niggas was crazy. Like they had bars to me, and they never got the credit that they deserved.
That's right.
Never.
That's right.
And, you know, was doing something different, you know, back then.
Exactly.
You know, so, and it wasn't a whole bunch of rah and, you know, all, you know, they not to take shots, you know what I'm saying? Definitely no shots intended, but I still don't think these dudes got the credit that they did today. It was only one joint. They never did a double trouble thing, and I don't know if because the Funky 4 Plus More superseded. You know, but no, you know, I love Double Trouble.
It's the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Classic, man. But yeah, man, duos, man, you know, we obviously were talking prior to airing, and you know, we always build off air. Sometimes those are the best builds when we're not exactly, you know, speaking to the audience. But this whole notion of the duo, man, like, you know, first of all, clarifying and examining who the actual duos are. Like you threw a Tribe Called Quest out there, and clearly there are two forefront MCs. You know, just remembering how obviously we heard Q-Tip from as far back as the Jungle Brothers, Black is Black, and the promo.
That was the duo that I forgot about. That's
the JBs. And I started to put them on there, but I didn't know if you were going to say because Sammy B is also in the DJ group.
No, he don't spit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right on.
Africa and I, Sammy B on the set. Yeah, like, no, it's clear. Sammy B still spinning to this day. Yeah, so I mean, like, you know, I would never that, you know, they was one of the first, they was a tough duo. You know, they were ranked right up there.
That's right.
That's right. You know, I mean, of course, nobody in my book touches EPMD.
Oh man, you know who I neglected to put on here that to me was one of my when it all said and done, one of my favorite duos of all time, Das EFX.
Bounce, stickety bounce, hun.
They came and changed the game. You talk about a game changer.
Yes.
They had everybody flipping and, you know, Iggy and all of that for a minute, man.
Yeah, they was the most impactful, you know, group. I would have to say that if not the most, one of the most impactful groups of all time, because and I told you a story, you know, plenty of times. I'm at Mayday, I'm backstage. Well, it really wasn't backstage because, you know, it's just in the gymnasium and chilling off to the side. You know, Richard done slime me because he, you know, he was a big nigga and he wore the same denim suit just like Dapper Dan type denim suit all the time and shit.
Right.
So, he couldn't get it cleaned all the time, but so it's like he had the onion juice working and we chilling. I love Richard, so we chilling, and then APMD got on stage. They rocked for a couple of songs, and he's like, "We're gonna bring on our new artists out, la da 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 da." And I forget what they was wearing. These niggas got up there and it turned to crickets.
Right.
Cheney showed them no love. I was probably one of the few people up in there like clapping for him. And I'm like, they was getting it. And I'm like, what's wrong with you niggas? These niggas is live.
Right. I saw him at the Civic Center, and I remember people kind of like not getting it at that time. You know what I mean? They just didn't get it.
And it could have been what they was wearing.
Right. Because I don't think we was quite on that yet. We wasn't quite ready for the...
See, I was a house head. So it's like, and it was like, Philly house heads had a whole different flavor about that time, because we went from wearing the platform shoes or the black shoes, with the thick soles, the Zodiacs or whatever whatever you may have, and whatever you could have got from the Chameleon shop in the the gallery, or you went down Zipper Heads on South Street, and they had that kind of stuff on. So big up to Blizzy Mose, who DJs now and does production, and was one of the top dancers in the tri-state area, and went on to dance for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Okay.
And like them niggas look like us. It was like, we was all chilling. I don't even know if Blizz was there that night, but J Truth was there. Troy, everybody who was at the the Limelight or the Impulse on Sundays, they look like us. So I was feeling them from that perspective.
Right.
But if a lot of cats, and you saw plenty of house heads on the campus, especially at punk rock and stuff like that, at Lincoln. And I'm like, it was just like niggas, but this wasn't no house head show. It was hip hop. Right. And that matter of fact, Classic, that's where EST and Cool seeing them had like a little truce meeting.
Okay.
Right there, Mayday in 1991, because it was like, they had beef.
Right.
And, Rob and his crew, they show up, and, Cool C and Boob and all of them was there. And it was like, I ain't mess with them Hilltop niggas like that. I was cool with some of the old heads.
Right.
But, if I'm a rock with a nigga that showed me love from day one.
Right on.
Never act funny style, or, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it was going, if it was going to be, but they had a little, they squashed some stuff. Larry was there that night. It was crazy. So that was a very memorable night, because it was a lot of people who was nobodies, and then somebody's there. People messed with Cheney heavy.
Right.
And it was like, it was funny because earlier that day, it's one of the unique times that not punk rock, but Mayday fell on the same day as Penn Relays.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy. We all down Penn Relays, and then later on that night, they got this big concert out at Cheney, and everybody's out there. So it was crazy. But you're right. You fumbled the ball. We both fumbled the ball on Daza Fest.
Yeah.
And then to hear them tell a story that, which was even more amazing, that they did all of that stuff themselves. I always thought that, E-Double was on the production.
Right.
That was them.
Solid scheme.
Mm-hmm. Big up Brooklyn. So, this duo thing, True said it earlier, and I didn't give it much weight, but it's a lot of duos out there.
Yes, sir.
A lot of duos. Something that I want to pull up, one of my favorite songs by this duo and this brother, you know, who I don't know what he's doing now, but the other member of this crew, Organized Confusion, Prince Poe. My favorite song by them was In Vitro. Once again, big up to True Justice. You know, when I was out promoting my first single, we riding down to the Freaknik, and he put that In Vitro joint up. So hint, hint, you know, I want to hear In Vitro, INV, you know, yeah, by Organized Confusion.
Word.
Yo, the sample is nuts. This joint is crazy, but like that, you know, that was a formidable duo. I mean,
Yes, sir.
Wasn't UMC's a duo?
That's right. They were. That's
Not
right.
that I was into them, but you know,
they had a couple joints. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I remember more of they joints than I do Organized Confusion.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so UMC's was a duo. It's a duo. I can't remember. I'm gonna find a name. It's a duo from Philly, and they one of the first. Matter of fact, I think their song predated Jungle Brothers rocking over Mandrill. They rocked over not Mango Meat. What's the joint? Blam 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 blam. Boom 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 boom. Boom boom doom boom 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 boom. I can't remember the name.
And they were from Philly?
Yeah, they from Philly. And I think they was Double Exposure. They was from Uptown.
Okay.
It was double something. And these niggas tore that track apart. And I never heard anything else from them. But they was from like Somerville. You know, anybody listening on Periscope, anybody want to call in, a lot of people don't even know about it. I bet you I'm going to call Raid when we go on break. Raid will remember them. If not, you know, my man, you know, Lance Hill remember them. They double something. These cats, big up Lady B. They debuted on her show. And they killed this track. And I was like, damn, it's like these kids was rough. So, you know, even Philly got dope duo, you know, had a dope duo. But they never did anything else. Do we have any other duos?
In Philly?
I mean, maybe some, because I know you got your ear to the ground more so on you know, on underground hip hop.
Technically, the early Roots can be considered a duo. Malik B.
About Malik B.
Right, Malik B and Black Thought.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That is a duo.
Yeah.
And it would have had to be ranked right up there.
Exactly.
I mean, because they listen, I don't think nobody wanted no smoke
with them. Exactly.
The together,
written or off the top of the head.
And most cats is like, you know, Malik B back then was really like, you know, he I mean, you know, Tariq held his own, but he, you know,
Malik wasn't nothing to shake a stick at even. And to this day,
forefront,
when he's on his, you know, his square and he's, you know, not dealing with what he's dealing with,
even when
still
he's dealing
sharp,
with
even when he's dealing with,
you
right.
saw that shit right in here.
Yeah, right.
This nigga came out of a nine and jumped up and killed the mic. Nobody wanted to touch the mic after him. It was like, yo, who wanna rock the I'm like, damn, you'd have thought that nigga was like Black Lightning and flew off the lawn. He went this way, but I would have thought he went that way. You know what I'm saying? Because he was next thing I know, he on the stage murdering, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Malik B. So, you know, hey, you pulled that one right out.
Yeah.
And I can't think of any other Philly duos.
I can't.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
All these cats, you know, they was dare I say they was the first.
Yes. Dare
I say they was the first, well, you know, the first that made it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because these other cats from uptown, I can't remember who they were. I'm gonna find out though, you know. But yeah, so I mean, I still say, and we gonna come back later in the show and revisit the legacy of EPMD. You know, like nobody,
definitely
nothing. I mean, because then they went into, you know, like look at their tree. Nobody else has a tree like them. I don't think any other duo has a tree.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? With the exception, but you know, do you call that still a duo with the Roots?
Right.
Because but their legacy don't touch EPMD.
Not at all.
And it goes back to, even coming back to today's, pop culture, where Kevin Hart was saying, like, when he got that chance, he did stuff and put other people on.
That's right.
He gave other people opportunities that they never would have really got.
That's right.
And the Roots sort of kind of did that when they had the whole OK Player. And I don't say anything about them because they the group, but the whole management side of that, nobody else really popped. And they had other people that was rocking with them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the Jazzy Fat Nasties. I remember because J Troop was right there.
Right.
And I'm working on stuff with him. He had an air, but it was almost like, because J Troop used to bring me records. I'm like, nigga, like, what do you want me to do with this?
Right.
And then I would have to create.
Right.
So it was, that's why I got that feeling, where like people try to discount Marley. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I've been on that side. Now,
Okay,
not that
I
me
got
and J
you.
True, because we family, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not that we ever went through any ciphers or whatever, because I'm a selfless person when it comes down to that. But it's like, I sit there, I've had plenty of cats bring me stuff that they was like, yo, this dope. And they want me to do something with it. And I'm like, because they couldn't do anything with it. And you had to figure that stuff out.
Right.
But you had to really have, you know what I'm saying? Like, be creative and so,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, that's the one thing that's sad about, and that's a blemish to me about, that camp is how many talented artists, was there and didn't get the right management or guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's opportunities within that camp.
Right.
And cats just, nobody else popped off.
Mm.
Nobody. That's incredible. Think
That's
about
right.
that.
Yeah.
Nobody. How nobody
Right.
popped off.
Right.
Crazy, man.
Mm.
But I mean, there's still an opportunity to this day.
Still an opportunity.
Still an opportunity. But it's like, maybe nobody popped off because everybody was just goofy on their own way.
Right.
So, but I mean, back to the topic at hand, duos. I don't remember these cats being a duo, but you say this goofy light-skinned motherfucker was spitting on shit. I don't remember this nigga spitting on nothing. All I remember is a white cover with them two on the cover. And I'm talking about Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd. I always thought Casanova Rudd was the DJ. You saying he spit too. So
Girls, I got them locked. Come on, get some. Stop yelling it. I know you like the jam, but his name is still seldom telling it. That's two dudes going back and forth right
No.
there. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
We gotta play that shit.
Yeah.
Girls, I got a block. You gotta pull that up. Because I remember that all being Calente, Super Lover C. It's
Girls,
called
I got 'em
locked.
By Super Lover C, Casanova Rudd.
Casanova Rudd. What the fuck was this nigga's name? Is it Rudd or Rudolph? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, shout out to everybody on Periscope, man. Shout out to Caligula 92.
Caligula, what's yours?
Hey, I don't know. I just
he fisted niggas. Caligula 92.
Shout out to Madam X has joined us on Periscope.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Miss
with
Phantom.
with that infectious smile of hers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She had to get in the wind, but she's logged on and still a part of the conversation. You know what I mean?
Look at Last Emperor Lover. You know what I mean? Lover. Not to be confused with Ed Lover.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
But definitely, man, Super Lover C, Casanova Rudd. I know they were real big in high school.
Word?
Like my 11th, 12th grade
Right,
in high school,
right.
they were like real popular.
I don't know about 12th grade. I remember 10th, 11th.
Yeah. Well, okay, 10th, 11th.
Yeah,
10th, 11th. Yeah.
So I mean, they did it. You know what I'm saying?
Girls act stupidly when I'm pumping them. girls ask.
I ain't never heard Casanova Rudd.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck is Rudd?
Yeah, hey, I don't know
This
what a
is
Rudd
fucking with me
but-
because I got one of my boys from, you know, big up Trini Massive, my man Rudo. You know what I'm saying? Rudolph. I ain't never heard nobody named Rudd. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is a Rudd?
I don't know.
I can even see if it was Rux, like short for Ruxpin or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Rudd.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, maybe we can find his government out. You know what I'm saying? Casanova, and that was all played out by then. Like, you know, I mean, he was cutting the joint Super Casanova. Remember?
Right.
That's all. Now, if you calling that a duo, I don't know, nigga.
That's
I
a
don't
duo,
know,
man.
but he
They was
spit
going back and
nothing.
forth, man.
We gonna hear. I mean, I'm sure Boom got it pulled up by now. Who else? I mean, is there anybody else that we forgetting? We left off Jungle Brothers.
Well, we mentioned them previously. I always like to throw them out there because there aren't very many females in the category, but Salt and Pepper, man, hands down. You know what I mean? Vanessa Sinquist definitely had a couple singles that popped or whatever. But other than that, I can't even really think of any female duos. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean,
so
what was Latrim? Was they a duo? Or JJ Fad? I mean,
yeah, well, JJ Fad, Dumalama, Samalama, Damalama, Sumalama. I think it was three of them.
Yeah,
it was three of them. Now Latrim might have been two, but I mean, were they really rhyming? We like the cars that go boom.
Was they was two.
Oaktown's 357. I think that was a duo. Yeah, that was a duo.
Yeah,
but that was more eye candy than anything.
Yeah, Claymation.
Right.
Claymation.
You know.
That's it. I can't think of anybody else. That's sad, man. Like, that's real sad.
Yeah, again, we're old enough to see the whittling down of the group. You know, at first it was all about your crew, your group. Might be 4 of you, 5 of you, or at least 3. Then it, you know, went down to like 2. Now it's just all about that one MC. Or he may not even call himself an MC, that one rapper, you know, and that's basically the way that the industry has kind of forced people who started out doing it for the love and for the craft and the skill factor, now saying, look, if it's just me, I ain't got to break down my advance budget money with 3 other guys. You know what I mean? This all goes to me. So they're not really thinking about the craft of it or the art form. Now it's just really like, you know, I gotta get paid. I want to be the one in the spotlight with all the limelight. You know what I mean?
Now, when we go to the West Coast, was Souls of Mischief, was that a duo?
There's actually 4 MCs.
Oh, okay, 4 MCs. Okay.
Yeah, there's actually 4 of them.
And Farside was?
Farside is 4.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So there was no West Coast duos.
I can't think of any West Coast duos offhand. I mean, maybe like Compton's Most Wanted. Were there 2 MCs in that?
MC8. I think it was only 1.
Okay.
No, because it
maybe
was
not Compton. Who else am I thinking about? Not Compton's Most Wanted. WC. What was the group he was in prior to him being like a solo artist?
I don't know.
I know it was WC in the Mad Circle.
Right.
But no, I can't think of any duos out there. None.
I don't think it.
None.
I mean, you know, Compton's Most Wanted might have been a duo. Compton's Most WANTED. It was no, because I just remember his boy, yo, what did he say? Yo, chill this bitch's dick on me just like she's feeding for crack. That was fucking a lot. Like, nah, I don't remember any.
Right.
There's no duos. Right. That's crazy.
It is.
Not that we know of, you know, because it could have been soon.
Right.
But mostly everybody. Now, would you consider? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, would you consider Public Enemy to be a duo? They never did a song together where they was both spitting.
Right. Right. I never thought about that. No, they haven't.
Sheesh. Yeah. So
Yeah, I wouldn't really consider that a duo because Flav is more of the hype man,
Right?
You know.
And we did a show on that.
Yeah, he's the greatest hype man there is. But
you think he was greater than Earl?
Yeah, because Earl ain't really say too much. Yo, this E ain't no thing, can't complain, get cash like a motherfucker. Pastor J.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, yeah, so that's it. That's it. So I mean, we're gonna kick off, get into another, super pack sound set.
Yeah.
Here on the official last word under the umbrella, a big bad
radio.
Get up. Everybody get up. Get up. Everybody get up.
Yeah, that was the dynamic group Super Nature, also known as Salt and Pepper. You know, again, as a sidebar, the foresight of somebody like Marley Marl, who worked with them before they even. Now, I don't know which records he did for them, but apparently he was working with them early in the game as well.
Wow.
So, I mean, that just adds on to a list, a long list, and even more, I won't say astonishing, but hitting home is the fact that, from what I understand, it was the Goodman brothers who actually discovered them first or something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know about first, but probably so.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
so. That's crazy.
But definitely, you know, they just, I mean, you talk about hip hop duos. I mean, gender aside, just they were just dope, period. But definitely, as far as like the females were concerned, come on, man, wasn't nobody messing with them like that, you know. Wasn't nobody messing with them.
Look good too.
Right, and look good too. And their delivery was hardcore, especially in the beginning. You know what I mean? My mic sounds nice. Come on, man.
That was my favorite. That and I Desire.
I Desire, right.
You know.
My
cow just died. I don't need your bull. I was like, damn. Shit. That's like, listen, man. But yeah, like, you know, and sadly enough, the two selections that we played, which is arguably their only two hits, if you want to call it hits.
I don't know.
Super Lover C and Casanova Ride.
Okay. Girls act stupidly.
Yeah, no Casanova spitting on any.
We're gonna find out what songs that
you making stuff up. You moosing.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean? You moosing. Like you imagine it. You pass moosing. You imagine it, shit. And since we say imagining, or I'm identifying what you're doing. It's called imagining. Nobody was more imaginative, and we're remiss because we didn't kick off the show by mentioning it and then taking a brief moment of silence, for the immortal, one of the most incredible creative individuals to ever grace our planet, Stan the Man Lee.
Absolutely right, G. I mean, to just see characters that he came up with in his head grow to be billion-dollar generating characters in film, comic book, cartoon. I mean, who doesn't know Spider-Man?
Right.
Who doesn't know the Incredible Hulk?
Exactly.
Who doesn't know Iron Man? Or the Fantastic Four?
Let's go even further before Iron Man.
Yes.
And anybody who wore underoos can remember this, where you had Iceman and what was a Firestar.
Firestar, that's right.
That was the craziest shit ever to see Iceman, like,
right,
running on ice, or like,
exactly.
This was nuts. That was like, those are just creative characters. I mean, like, and then he introduced I don't want to say minorities because, globally we're a majority.
Yes, sir.
But, he introduced original people.
That's right.
With powers.
Exactly. And to the extent that, if you remember, when he created a lot of these characters, it was the 60s. The turbulent 60s, as they say. From what I understand, his creation of the X-Men, if we remember, the X-Men is all about a group of individuals who are born with superhuman abilities. Society at a certain point shuns them as a result of these abilities, and they become oppressed under the government.
Right.
What he did was flip the whole dynamic between Malcolm and Martin. If we remember, Malcolm was who? Malcolm X, who were the nation known as the
The
X-Men. So between Magneto and Professor X, they was always battling. Like Professor X's whole, he switched around the roles a little bit.
Mhm.
But if we remember, Professor X's stance was the humans are okay. Eventually, they'll come to accept us and create laws in which we'll be accepted.
Mhm.
Magneto was totally opposite. Death to all humans, they all devils. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We are superhuman, we got powers, and we don't need them. Eventually, we'll eradicate them.
Damn.
So again, the X-Men, obviously the Black Panther.
Mhm.
You know, he saw what was going on with the Panthers in the 60s. So, you know, they create black. I mean, just like
That's
you
a
said,
that was a creative
very much
motherfucker,
so,
man.
very much so, to the extent
God
that,
damn.
you know, eventually, I know he doesn't, as far as the films are concerned, have all the rights to certain things. I know he has a creative consultant situation with them, which clearly should leave his estate with clearly they should, no one in his family should be having to work for generations to come.
Mhm.
Anytime you got, you know, Avengers Age of Ultron selling out in theaters and generating billions of dollars, and I mean the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, man, every time out they just rule the box office.
Mhm.
So clearly, man, his legacy has clearly been imprinted on not just American culture but world culture.
Did he have children?
I want to say a daughter. I
Okay.
do know. I did catch sound of a daughter. Other than that, I don't know. And I mean, as far as within the realm of hip hop, man, just think about how many hip hop artists have used, you know, Marvel characters in their rhymes.
Mhm.
Swinging through your block like your neighborhood spider, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Damn, man, it's just
Yeah.
incredible. Like, you know, also, was it Nightcrawler?
Right. He's one of the X-Men.
What was the name? Storm?
Storm. That's right. That's right. One of the X-Men.
Right. You know,
Colossus, Cyclops, the Angel, the Beast. You know what I mean? And again, there's still movies. We'll be old and gray. There'll still be
Daredevil.
movies coming out. Right. Daredevil, Wolverine. I mean, the list goes on and on. Guardians of the Galaxy.
He gave us even an identity in that. Like, I mean, you just, you know, Nightcrawler and
Right,
Storm.
right.
They was niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then he even went, what was Elektra? She was Hispanic.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Green
That's absolutely
Lantern.
right. Now, Green Lantern was DC.
Oh God,
That was
you're right,
DC
you're
with
right.
Batman and all
Right,
that.
right,
But
right,
yeah.
right. Pause, so, but yeah, so like they ain't had no niggas.
Right. Right. Exactly.
DC, right?
Exactly.
They told you flat out.
Exactly. Even as far as like, I haven't seen a series, but a lot of the Netflix series that I think True Justice was telling me he was checking out Luke Cage.
I was
Luke
too.
Cage.
That was dope.
Right. Power Man and Iron Fist and all of that,
Yeah,
man.
Luke
Yeah,
Cage was
man.
dope. Both seasons.
Yeah,
so
man.
I hope they do, you know, and taking it back from what I heard.
Okay.
And taking it back from Netflix. I hope they do.
Right.
Do a season 3.
Even Blade, the black vampire hunter that Wesley Snipes played in the early 90s. Blade.
I didn't know that was
that's Marvel. Yes,
Get
sir.
The fuck out of here.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Yes, sir.
Man, big up to Stan Lee.
Yeah, man. So he made his mark, man. He lived a long, full life.
Yeah, he life
95.
Shit.
That's right.
You know
That's right. That's right.
Because he had plenty money.
Yes, sir.
And he lived plenty long.
Yes, sir.
What did he return from that? Just natural causes?
That I don't know, but I know he was 95.
That was
so
probably from the smoking shit.
Probably.
The doom.
But definitely, man, duos, man. Like, I mean, we keep going on. Like, you know, one of my favorites out of the boot camp clique. There's actually 2 duos out of there. Ruck and Rock, as well as Steel and Tech.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about Helter Skelter and then Smith and Wesson. Rest in power to Sean Price.
Damn, man.
I walk around town with the pound strap down on my side. No fronting, just in case a nigga try to smoke something.
Brown hair heads don't act their age.
You might be another dead boy on page.
God damn. And I mean, even when you just go to, La Fla, like
Right.
God damn.
Right.
Man.
Shout out to the core duo known as the Beat Miners, Mr. Walt, Evil D, for providing a soundtrack to most of those groups. You know what I mean? Obviously talking about Black Moon, Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter, and the original Gun Clappers.
Right. Home of the original Gun Clappers.
You know?
Now let me ask you this. Was damn, who just jumped in and out of my thoughts? You mentioned something. Oh shit, it was another group that jumped in and out of my thoughts. God damn. You said what you said? Was Beat Nuts.
Right, the Beat Nuts, the world famous Beat Nuts. Psycho Les and Juju.
Hey man, listen, them niggas got some shit.
Yes,
too.
Sir. Yes, sir.
My goodness.
Yes, sir.
They
when I popped the trunk, hit the deck. John Wayne couldn't even stand the rain of the tech.
I didn't even know they made a ruling for your broke ass. I remember first time the Body Quality heard that. Oh man, she was like, "Damn!" I ain't even know they made it.
Right.
Man, please, you better watch yourself. That shit, man.
Yes, sir.
I ain't even know they made a rollie for your chief. That's great. That's a line and a half.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
I remember hanging down the Badlands at a couple bars in the Badlands, and they would have the Beat Nuts on heavy rotation.
Hell yeah,
heavy.
Hey, Puerto Riqueño.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know somebody else we forgot.
Who's that?
Talking about the PRs.
Power Rule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noriega and Capone. CNN.
Yes, sir.
Damn.
The War Report. Classic album.
Yes.
Very, very classic album. Under the tutelage of Tragedy, Gaddafi, the Arab Nazi. You know what I mean? And just that Queensbridge Left Rat connection, man.
Mm-hmm.
Classic album.
Damn.
Stood up for New York at a time where New York and LA was going back and forth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Jose Luis Gotcha. Rolling Guns, Interns, General, Emmanuel, Rock Emerald. Yeah,
God,
man.
That was a whole era.
Yes.
When that Fat Joe kind of born.
Yes.
When all the Puerto Ricans was just rocking.
Yes.
All Latinos, I don't know if all of them was Puerto Rican, but all Latinos was killing it.
Yes, sir.
Because, Fat Joe had dropped several years prior, and then they came, and then the Beat Nuts, and then Pun.
Right.
It was just a whole...
in the middle of little did he know every riddle's a middle diddly.
That was just a whole Latin, Latin onslaught.
Yes, sir.
That shit.
Yes,
but
sir.
It was niggas from Philly, some Hispanic cats that was killing it.
I'm the Overlord Ice Dog rocking.
Yeah, I heard niggas from Philly spitting in Spanish on hip hop tracks before in New York.
I would love to have heard that.
Oh man, I'm like, this go back to back to the mid 80s.
Yeah.
I'm talking about back to mid 80s. Like even it might even predate Fresh Fest.
Okay.
Because it's 83, 84. When everybody had like tapes. I never heard nobody from New York spit and Spanish. And I'm trying to remember this nigga's name. Right over from what now they call the Badlands, which wasn't the Badlands. It was just, Little Puerto Rico or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it'll come to me. It was some cats over there that was vicious, and they wasn't spitting like whole verses. They would just drop a couple bars here and there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, yeah, because I mean, you know, you talking about like I told you, you know, my god brother's cousin, you know, Pink Bag Posse. I know, you know, anybody to remember back in the 80s, he was ripping it.
Okay.
This nigga, I thought about him last week. I gotta fly him a kite and see if anybody's still looking out for him or, you know, sending him any bread, you know. Big up to I forget his, I think his Arabic name is Mustafa or Muhammad, one of the two. You know, this is Knowledge Seed that used to run Pink Bag Posse. He doing life. Cause then when it was like Pink Bag Posse Part 2, he throwing niggas off the roof.
Damn.
Oh my goodness. And his little cousin, he was crippled. I forget how he was putting in work too. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, listen. I was like, damn, this is family. These niggas we used to go on picnics with. You know what I'm saying? Bluebell Park.
Wow.
Right up there by the fucking golf course. Whoever thought we would have turned out this way? You know what I mean? And it was just like, I remember first time I ever seen a street dug up where, you know, they was replacing like the big ass concrete, you know, sewage line or whatever, deep, like 20, 30 feet down.
Right.
First time I saw that was over at 8th and Allegheny, and it was like that for like maybe years. Yeah, so that's like these niggas was getting it, man. They was getting it. So, I mean, duos. We forget anybody else?
Outkast, that's right.
Yeah.
Like God said Outkast, yeah.
One of the only duos that wasn't from like the north, the East Coast.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I kind of liked them a little bit when they first came out with Southern Player Southern Player Catalytic Music or whatever. I was like, oh, they're okay. But when they came back with Elevators, me and you, your cousin and your mama too.
But hold on, what was the joint they had before that? It was you got to get up and do something.
You got to get up, get out, and get something.
Yeah, that's when I got turned on to them with that joint.
Okay,
and that's when I met them. You know, big up to Rico Wade, their producer.
Okay,
the Dungeon nigga. You know what I'm saying? He put in mad work because, you know, I think I was telling Boom last week when I was freestyling against my man YZ up in the Bronx in the car. Oh, I took this nigga to task when because we was going back and forth for about like 30 minutes off of who's that peeking in my window. Blah.
Nobody now.
Man, and then when I went in the fifth gear on this nigga, oh my goodness, it was ugly. It was ugly. He was spitting some wild shit because then he could skank too. So he was giving it to me. We was like going neck and neck. But when I went fifth gear on this thing, he was like, yo, that's off the top. Absolutely, nigga. Absolutely. He was like, yo, stop that shit. This shit is over. Because I'm telling you, I found fifth gear on him. It was a wrap. It was a rap. My man was like, yo, I ain't ever heard no shit like that. I'm like, yeah, it goes down once you get there. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah. So, you know, big up to you know, all the duos or the duo, whatever you want to call them, the duo crews, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I mean, I don't think hip hop. I mean, you know, because that's when hip hop kind of changed with like Run DMC.
Right.
You know, and before Run DMC, I mean, Little Robbie C and KK Rockwell, they put in work.
Yes, sir.
They put in work. So, I mean, you know, we going to resolve and play whatever we didn't play and add some stuff to it because we got to put some Capone and Noriega. You know, of course, you know, they changed the face of duos, Mobb Deep. You know, and like you said, Das Effects. So, you know, we're gonna kick off the next sound set with They Want Effects, and then, you know, throw and then we could throw some what do you call that? What was the shit we was talking about with the Beat Nut? You better watch yourself.
Definitely. Well, it would appear that we're at the end of the show.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
we'll definitely leave you with these great tunes. Again, this is another show that we could have extended. We'll have to do a part 2 to this as well, because as the God just stated, there are artists and acts that we haven't even touched on yet. You know, when we really do our research. And we trust that this has been an enlightening show for you. Be Righteous, where can they contact us on social media?
Last Word, OLASTWORD on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all those other, fucking social media outlets. Last Word, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We appreciate everybody tuning in on Periscope. Tell a friend about it. We're global. Big Bad Radio is the outlet. Big Bad Radio, all one word. If you want to download the app on Google Play or the App Store, and you can also tune in if you want the full experience through the app as well as YouTube Live. Back to you, Laz.
Definitely. Another exciting, action-packed show. We thank you for tuning in, joining us. Everybody out there, I see Caligula 916, whatever you're into, more power to you. We see you adding on to the conversation. Madam X, keep hiding yourself out there. We will have you on board one of these shows, and you will present yourself front and center. To everyone else out there, as always, we leave you with peace.